My husband met my high school bullies and sided with them to bully and publicly humiliate me. Now he's devastated because it dawned on him that I am leaving. We flew out to our hometown and spent Thanksgiving with family. Everything went well. Friday, we decided to spend the day going out in our hometown and checking out new things since it's been years since our last visit. We stopped by a quick noodle restaurant for lunch. Guess who's eating in there? A few of the female bullies that ruined my life in high school. Brief backstory. My husband was friends with most of the people in school, including the popular crowd that bullied me. He knew they bullied people, but didn't know the extent of their bullying. I was an outcast with a small circle of fellow outcast friends. My husband and I didn't know each other back then. The bullying was so bad, they had me jumped and resulted in me having broken bones, that my parents pulled me out for homeschooling. Never got to go to homecoming, never got to go to prom, etc. I'm still in therapy and physical therapy for the things they did to me. My husband was also friends with some of my fellow friends, but we never formally met until years later. He moved away shortly after high school and I moved back to our home state right before meeting my husband. Think invisible string theory. He wanted to talk to them immediately. I told him I was uncomfortable going over to them and reminded him what they did to me, but he insisted and pressured me to go. They squealed when they saw him, leapt out of their chairs, and jumped all over him. I awkwardly waved and said hi to them. They immediately changed their attitude and were not happy to see me. They asked, "Why are you here and why are you following our friend?" I asked my husband if he could take over the conversation, but he refused, so I told them that my husband and I are here for Thanksgiving weekend. They made a snide remark, "Oh, well, where is he? The dirty stinky FT man with the receding hairline over there? Even he wouldn't marry you. You're probably making him up." I didn't want to entertain this, so I asked my husband if we could go. He refused and said I was being rude. These girls were insulting me right in front of him and he had zero interest in defending me. He's never done this before, so I told him I was going to order for us and walked away. They made nasty comments about me as I was leaving. I got our drinks and asked him, yet again, if we could find a table elsewhere. The girls said, "Why do you keep stalking him? He doesn't want anything to do with you. Go away, you stupid little troll." So I told him I'm getting my food to go because I don't want to spend another minute here. He said to the girls, "Oh, guess what she said about you," as we walked in. Then he proceeds to tell them about me, reminding him about the heinous things they did to me. They of course denied they did any of that, then swore I did those things to them. He said I was vile to torment his friends back in high school. I said, "I can't believe that you're acting like this, so I guess I'll see you later." Luckily the counterperson witnessed everything that just happened and boxed up my food for me, along with utensils and napkins. I thanked her, gave her a tip, and headed for the exit. As I approached the exit, he blocked me from leaving. He immediately said, "Give me the ring back." I asked if he was serious. He asked yet again, "Give me the ring back now." I said no. He asked again and I asked him to let me leave. These girls are standing around laughing like hyenas at this point. A few people from the restaurant helped me get out of the restaurant. They returned to their table and I ran out in tears. I called my sister and begged her to pick me up. I walked as far as I could so they wouldn't attempt to bully me again. After telling her about what happened, we decided to get all of my belongings out of our hotel room and have me stay at her place and change my flight to an earlier time. My husband made zero attempts to contact me since the restaurant incident. My sister did some digging on FB and she the bullies tagging my husband in many photos. They were all over him in every photo, along with others from our old high school. Of course they went to the bar the alumni always hang out/work at. I felt sick to my stomach looking at all of those photos. My husband knocked on my sister's door in the middle of the night after I finally fell asleep after crying myself to sleep. He asked if he could speak to me and that he effed up and needs to fix things. She sent him away. I woke up to missed calls and texts. I answered his call, asking him to give me space for the remainder of the trip and please respect my wishes. He said that I'm being dramatic and need to just listen to him. I got home on Tuesday. I made the impulsive decision to take temporary residence in our guest room an hour before he got home and somehow got most of my clothes, makeup and hair products, toiletries, etc. so I have zero reason to go back into the master bedroom. He got home late last night. I wasn't supposed to go back to work until next week, but I make my own schedule, so I decided to return today. I was hoping to avoid him this morning, but we crossed paths on my way out the door. He tried to hug me, but I rejected his advances and ran out the door. He yelled, "You can't avoid this forever," as I was heading to my car. He is right. I can't keep avoiding him forever. Him and I have never had any issues before the incident at the noodle restaurant. I don't know what to do. Our marriage has been perfect before this. No red flags at all. He was the only person I felt safe and secure with before the incident. The trust is completely gone and I no longer feel safe and secure with him. I don't think he will assault me or anything, but I cannot trust him to protect me and stand by me. What should I do? How would you handle this? Therapy? Divorce? Break? I don't know. I still love him so much, but I don't know if I should trust my current judgment. I really need guidance on how to navigate this. Update. We finally had our sit-down conversation last night after giving each other space. Long story short, I knew he was going to tell me he cheated. He denied it at first, but finally admitted it. So here we are, separating. I'm going to file for legal separation, meet with some lawyers, and get the ball rolling. Sadly, we have to live together for a while. We do have a guest room and I moved my stuff in while he was gone. Our state doesn't have adultery laws or anything, so I can't exactly get him for that. I'm going to wait to make any additional changes after I hire a lawyer so I don't screw myself. So for now, I have to live with him unless he chooses to leave. Update 2. The divorce was finalized a week ago. We did an uncontested divorce. I avoided sharing anything to avoid provoking him and taking this to trial. My attorney advised this, and for good reason. If my ex decided to take it to trial, it would have taken at least a year. We agreed to sell the house. I've been touring condos on the market. He didn't come after my salary and benefits. I didn't want any of his salary and benefits. No fights over our vehicles. I've never liked his car and he feels the same about my car. My attorney agreed that this process has been fair for everyone. His felt the same way. We honestly could have done this without lawyers, but I didn't want to take that risk. I wanted this over as quickly as possible and I'm glad things worked out that way. Our mutual friends sided with me, even though I've been saying they don't have to pick a side. I have no idea what I would have done without my therapist, attorney, friends, and family by my side throughout this mess. I kept my ring. I have no use for it anymore, but I don't want any of those girls to possibly have it. If he wants to put a ring on any of their fingers, he can buy a different ring. Call me petty, I don't care, but it would hurt if I saw any of them wearing my ring. I did get ahead of myself and date someone. For just under a month, he was also in a similar situation to mine, recently separated from his spouse due to infidelity and him being abused. Yes, he had proof and showed me things she said and did to him. Both of us realized we weren't ready for this yet and went our separate ways, but he's a great friend and we still talk. Yes, that's why I made a post asking for dating after divorce. I got a lot of backlash for that, but I needed to get myself out there at least once and I'm glad I did. It helped me move on. It helped the guy I was seeing as well and helped him learn to trust someone again. My now ex-husband found out about it and was devastated. In my state, you can date others while separated. As for my ex-husband, he's struggling. I'm not playing therapist because he's the one that caused all of this. I advised him to see a therapist. He's moving back to our hometown. His company has a location close enough to our hometown. I agreed to let him take all of the furniture, except anything in the guest bedroom. Again, sorry it took me a while to update. I needed to finish this process before sharing it here. Anyway, I'm glad this process was fairly easy, but my emotions have been all over the place. Update 3. He moved back to the dreaded hometown. I heard he's going on dates with someone, but it's not someone that peaked in high school. Hopefully, he learned his lesson and he doesn't do the same thing to whomever he settles down with. Back to them. Imagine destroying a man-child's marriage and he still doesn't pick you. Honey, we all know you tried when he got back. People talk and I know all about it.